So just go ahead and look at me as we talk. So we've gone through a program, right?
Yeah.
And so we're just gonna here talk about like your experience with it before, during, and after. Before, concentrate on what kind of difficulties you had having to carry all that extra weight. During, concentrate on a couple of things about what you thought was, if it was easy, it was simple, it was, it took me this many months. And then at the end, we'll talk about how, once that you reach your goal, how things have changed for you. What has happened since? What have you noticed that has made a difference in the way you are now? So we'll start off first by, with you telling us about, who you are, what you do, your name, your age, and what you do.
Well, my name's Alexis, and I work with my mother as an administrative clerk.
Don't say anything about it. Just you. Just all about you. Just your name, what your title, where you work, and then your age, and what kind of things you like to do. Like one of your favorite things to do. That's it. Whatever.
Okay. So my name's Alexis. I'm 20, and I work at Consumer Portfolio Services as an administrative clerk. And I like going to the beach. There's that.
All right. Good. So you did this program, right? Recently, and tell us a little bit about what happened. What was going on in your life before you decided to do this? How, what kind of pains you were going through that kind of pushed you to do something to fix it?
Well, before I was on program, I was on a lot of medications, and one of the medications had me gain a whole lot of weight. And from there, I wasn't exercising as much as I used to, and I grew a lot of back pains and just physical pains all around. And then so I noticed, I watched Well, you said I can't talk about animals, right?
You don't have to.
Okay, because she's actually the reason why I got on the program. It's
Okay.
not her.
If you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Okay. Then, my sister got on program. I was like, okay, cool. And after seeing her results, I was like, maybe I should check this out. Because I had gained so much weight from being so tiny. It just was unreal to me. And I needed to do something about it because I was so insecure with myself.
Okay, good. So tell us more about, as you saw your sister go through her drastic change, what was going through your mind?
Well, going through my mind, I was like, is this real? This is happening? She was always like, her friends would call her Chubby Bunny. And I just was like, my sister's shrinking! Oh my gosh, what's happening? And I was just like, I need to do what she's doing. But then I had no motivation to do it. I was like, I can't do that. But then again, I was like, if she could do that, I could do that. So finally talked to my mom, and I was like, let me get on.
Okay. So tell us more right now about how much you weighed before and how long did it take you and how far did you get? on your results?
So I weighed about 145 before I started program, and so I started back in January 2017 this year, and I want to say I hit past my goal weight. My goal weight was 120, and I passed my goal weight to 114 by my birthday, which was in April. And I was so unconvinced that I hit past my goal. Extremely excited. I dropped like I think 10 pound sizes through my journey.
How long did it take?
So about 4 months.
So 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, as you began the program, tell us a little bit more about what you saw, how simple it was. Talk about how the structure of it, some of your favorite food items on the program. Talk about the results you began to see as time progressed during those 4 months. What things did you notice during? What kind of struggles did you have? Whether they're mental, whether they're physical, or was it all positive? Was it just you got better, you got more energetic? What things did you notice?
So the first week was extremely hard for me because there were days where I would eat nothing except for dinner, and even eating dinner I was only eating a couple bites. So going from that to doing 6 meals a day every 2 hours is like, how am I going to do this? Because I'm usually not eating, or I'm eating too much. And I didn't even know there was a thing as eating too little. So I was like, I'm not eating, so I'm gonna stay small forever. This was not the thing. So the hardest part was like the first week, getting into the routine and really sticking with it. But I don't think it was the food that was all hard as drinking enough water. Drinking enough water, it's still a struggle, but I'm now drinking over 100 ounces a day. And it took me a long time to get there. But what was it?
What else? What kind of else positive things happened as you began to get through it? And then during the 4 months from when you first started till you got to your goal, like what kind of things did you see changing in your life?
Okay, so things that I saw changing in my life was, well, I guess I got a little happier. My insecurities went down majorly. I was like, oh, I'm tiny. I could wear different clothing items and not feel bad for other people looking at me. Like I've been told like I didn't look that bad, but I still felt it. Even though people didn't think that I looked big or anything, it was my own reflection of myself that I didn't care what people thought. It's when I looked in the mirror, I thought I was disgusting. And now I look in the mirror, I'm like, hey. But, so, and then, what's the last thing?
Just what was the first thing that you noticed?
First thing I noticed?
Something major that you noticed as you began to lose weight.
You got out of a toxic relationship.
What? I got out of a toxic relationship. I mean, I was in and out of this relationship and seeing how I was changing. My eating habits with him were the best, and he wasn't helping with my weight loss. He was actually reversing it, and I had gained a few pounds during my journey, but then I got back on track and I lost it again, and finally it was all bad, and I was thinking differently. I was thinking more positive, where he was negative, and I couldn't stay with that anymore. I ended a lot of friendships because I needed positive people in my life. I couldn't stay in that negative area. I was moving forward where they weren't. They were staying in the same place, and I wanted to grow.
Okay, so tell us more about what was your motivation to continue to push forward, even when you had no support of the friends and meaningful relationships around you? Like, what made you decide this is more important to me? And at what point did you decide, if you're not willing to be a part of this, then I'm gonna have to move on. I gotta take care of myself first. How did that happen?
Well, again, watching my sister grow, I was like, and like actually speak out, and I read her story and it made me cry. I cried when I read her story, and I had no idea she was going through that. And then just thinking back on myself, I was just like, why would I let myself get there as well? I need to improve myself. And I mean, I would talk to her every now and then, and we would have these deep conversations, but ultimately I realized how much of an influence the negative people in my life were on me, and where I was mentally, it was either I was going to go backwards or I could go forwards. And I knew how it felt going backwards, back in that negative zone, and I didn't like how it felt. I didn't like feeling insecure. I didn't like feeling disgusting. I hated it. Like, I needed to do something to make me happy. I can't keep focusing on making others happy when I'm not happy myself.
Perfect. It's awesome. You're making me want to cry too, just by listening to you. So you reached your goal, right? You surpassed it, right? Your original goal, you blew it, you destroyed it. Now tell us more about, once you got to your goal, how did it change your life? Tell us about the 3 major things that come to mind when you think about what you've accomplished. How has this program changed your life since April?
Since April, I mean, I learned who my friends are, who my absolute true friends are. I only have one. I only have one true friend out of everyone that I was talking to, everyone I associated myself with. One true friend that stayed by my side, and we didn't even really talk. She was more of an acquaintance, and it was until she saw my changes and she got closer to me, and she's been by my side ever since. But another thing is, I'm happier at work, where before I would sit there and just roll hanging out at my desk. I'm like, well, I wonder what people think of me when they pass by. But I mean, like, my ID picture for work, I hate it. I hate it. And I'm like, I wish I could retake it because I'm so much happier now. I mean, my boss even sees it. She's like, you have changed so much in this past year. And I'm amazed because she sees how much happier I am. And a lot of people say that I looked really dark, like my aura was really dark, and now I just glow. And I've been told that my smile lights up the room, where I didn't smile before. I hated smiling because I was so miserable. So one thing that I've noticed and other people have noticed, I smile more. I mean, my style has changed a lot more. It's brightened up. I used to wear just only black. My closet was just black, 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 black. And now, I mean, I'm wearing pink. Wearing pink with flowers. So that's just a lot.
That's awesome. So right now, the last piece right now, we're going to talk about if you can, like this. Let's assume that you have 400 people right now looking at you, they're listening to you right now, right? What would you tell them if they're struggling, if they're at that point where they need to make that change, and tell them a little bit more about what your suggestion is, right? Tell them what would you tell them to get started, and how would you push them and motivate them to do what you did?
Well, I would tell them don't hesitate. Like, the more you wait, the harder it gets. So if you're wanting to lose weight, reach out immediately. If you really want to lose the weight, just reach out. I mean, there's hundreds, thousands of people that are going to help you through this. You're not alone. Don't think you're alone. Reach out to JP. And reach out to JP's Health Solutions.
All right. Anything else that you think people should hear about you and your journey that you want to mention?
Well, when I was in high school, I was going through a lot of mental health issues, and I was on a lot of different medications throughout all of high school. And getting healthy, staying active, I'm not on any medications. I overcame and conquered, and I couldn't be happier. There's other ways.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.